It's green for go. They're racing.
He says go. He says ta-da. And Tiger Tara rolls away from them on the home turn.
Here comes another big boil over.
Equine athleticism at its best. The king is in the castle once more. This is in one race. The rest are almost in another postcode.
She is a star with a capital S.
It's going to be a triple treat. A miracle three-peat. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed history here at Menangle. What about that?
It's getting right up on the sprint lane and it's going to bolt in.
Hello and welcome back to the Menangle Angle. My name's Jessica Watkins and joining me is our General Manager for Racing Operations here at Club Menagle, David Watson. Wono, it feels like the TAB Carnival of Miracles is right on our doorstep with the fields that we've seen assembled for this Saturday night. You must be looking very excited towards this card.
Yeah, look, it's really getting exciting now. We've got some big players starting to come out, highlighted by the Hyundai Grattan. What a great bunch of 4-year-olds we've got competing there. We've got some nice free-for-allers going. We've got some younger horses starting to appear, and what a great mares race. We've got arguably the best mares in Australia racing here in a small but elite field as well. Yeah, it's really getting exciting now, and we've got quality racing this Saturday night.
What's coming up in the Menangle Angle today? Of course, we'll go through our normal race-by-race preview of this Saturday night's card. We'll also chat about the best thing that we saw from the past week. We have a TAB special too, which has come up with a very good price for punters, and we've also identified a couple of sectional stars again, but we have two very special guests that will be joining us on the show today as well. And Aaron Dunn, of course, we have seen him up here at the TAB Carnival of Miracles over the past few years, most notably with his star Bondi Lockdown, and we'll be chatting with Aaron about the 3 horses that he has engaged on Saturday night, and we'll also be chatting with one of our leading trainers here at Menangle in Jason Grimson. He has a fantastic team in on Saturday night, but of course he has Swayzee engaged in the Albury Murray Cup tomorrow night. So we'll chat to him about Swayzee and also any of his key TAB Carnival of Miracles contenders too.
Yeah, Aaron Dunn, a breath of fresh air in the stables. Win, lose or draw, he always seems to have a smile on his face. He's up for a chat. He just seems to be an up person. He's good company. And Grimo, well, you said he's one of the leading trainers here in Menangle. He's one of the leading trainers in Australasia, New Zealand Cups, Hunter Cups, you name it. He's just been dominating this year with Swayzee. So it'll be interesting to have a talk to Grimo as well.
Well, Wono, the best thing we saw this week, and I'll kick us off here, it was last Saturday night in the Club Menagle Simpson Memorial. It was the win of Always Hot. The colt by Always Be Mickey out of Our Celebrity won ultra impressively in a mile of 1:51.9, and it wasn't the best conditions out there with heavy rain throughout the night, but he's now won 6 from 6, and he just looks like such an exciting prospect heading into the New South Wales Derby final for Emma Stewart and Greg Sugars, and I can't wait to see him back here on Garrard's Miracle Mile night.
Yeah, he looked awesome. That track was getting a bit sticky. He went 51.9, I think it was 26.7 home. Super impressive. He goes straight into the Derby now. So Emma Stewart, they just got to nominate him, of course, but he's straight into the Derby final. Looks super impressive because there were some nice horses behind him.
And Wono, what's the best thing you saw this week?
Best thing I saw this week, I love it when the 2-year-olds come back. We had a 6-horse 2-year-old here on Tuesday. They've already set the bar, 154. Ricky Ouchin got the money. But we've got the 2-year-old fillies going around next Tuesday. I think there's a full field of 2-year-old fillies going around next Tuesday. I love seeing the young ones going around. The breed today is so good. We've got so many good stallions and so many good mares. The breed, they're just flying. You know, in the green trials, they're going 58s and 59s. So I love watching the 2-year-olds go around, especially this time of year.
A very exciting time when we get to see those babies take centre stage, and so many exciting races coming up through them throughout the season. But the first one being the Sapling Stakes here, which is also on Saturday, the 8th of March, Garrard's Miracle Mile night. And speaking with Ricky Ouchin after the win of Soho Trump on Tuesday, he identified that as a target for that colt. So it'll be exciting to see him hopefully line up in that $50,000 race.
Absolutely.
Wono, we've identified a couple of sectional stars from last Saturday night's card. And
you're on fire.
We certainly kicked off this segment with a I think a good start, a good strike rate.
Absolutely, Jess.
Red Reactor won on Tuesday at $7, and he was one of the very first horses that we mentioned as a sectional star. And Debonair last Saturday night ran a very close second there for Blake Fitzpatrick, and I think he was around the odds of $10. So if you managed to invest on our sectional stars, hopefully you made a bit of a profitable return, and hopefully we can continue that form this week. But the first of the sectional stars that we've identified is from race 5 last Saturday night, number 4, Kingmaker for Luke McCarthy. He's a 103 rater, so he's in the free-for-all grade, but he actually ran the quickest last half over the 2,300 metres last Saturday. He went a 53.4 last half, and also the quickest final quarter of the race, 26.3. So he's one to be keeping an eye out for. And then also heading back to earlier on in the card, it was Joe Nean for Leon Jerd and Will Rickson, who finished in 5th place. He went a 54.8 last half and a 27.7 third quarter and a 27.1 final quarter. So I thought his sectionals were quite impressive and one to keep an eye out for as well. Hopefully they'll be landing in the money not too far away.
Look, Kingmaker, yeah, he passed some really good horses. He come from last. Went past a lot of good free-for-all horses. He'll find the right race here over the carnival, I'm sure. His form's been getting better and better. And Joe Nean, that was a really, really strong 95 race. No disappointment to finish 5th in that race. And Leon Jerd places his horses very well. I'm sure he'll find the right race for him over the carnival as well.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, Wono, our very first special guest of the show today is Aaron Dunn. He's making the trip up from Horsham this Saturday night to Club Menagle with 3 runners. Of course, we've seen him here throughout our TAB Carnival of Miracles the past few years, especially with his star Bondi Lockdown. But it's great to have him back at Club Menagle this Saturday night. Aaron, how are you today?
Pretty good, thanks, Jessica.
Have you made the trip up from Horsham to New South Wales yet, or are you still down in Victoria?
Yeah. No, I left about up after 12 in the morning yesterday, and I brought 6, so I had to bring a little tray truck, which wasn't quite as good as the F truck worth luck, so she took a couple of hours extra, but got here yesterday about
hey,
1
Aaron,
o'clock.
There's not too many towns further west than Horsham in Victoria. How long's that trip?
It's probably about, it should probably take about 10 and a half hours, but by the time we stopped and got them off for a bit and that, it sort of probably took 13 and a half.
Wow. Okay. That's a good trip. It's always good to have you here, though. You know, it's a great. Everyone seems to be really happy when they're around you. You always got a smile on your face, whether the result's good or bad. You always seem to be an upbeat person. It's good to be in your company.
Yeah, no, it's, I'm probably lucky I'm only doing it as a hobby, so it's not a full-time profession, but I've got that many horses now. It's got a bit ridiculous. It's a bit out of control, sort of working 20.
Spoken like a true trainer of harness horses.
I've sort of been breeding a heap, and there's 9 foals there this year, and I think there's 24 that I haven't got a name to. Foals, yearlings, and 2-year-olds rising. Just turned 2, so plenty to go through, and it's and just sort of try and get the bonus and a few things like that. So it does still a bit of pressure, and I probably need to win a race in New South Wales. I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, it's a busy hobby.
Yes, it is. Certainly is. Yeah, no, it's, I take my hat off to the people doing it for years. I've sort of found it fairly, bit tiring at times, but anyhow, we keep trying.
Whereabouts here in New South Wales are you staying at the moment?
Well, I sort of probably got an association with Bondi Lockdown by sending him up to Luke. So I'm at Luke's again.
You must love staying out there at that Cobbity Equine Farm property. It's just incredible with fantastic facilities as well.
Yeah, no, it's a good little setup here, and it's she's a lot greener than Horsham, I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's hit and miss down in Victoria at the moment, isn't it, with the rain? Mate, talking about Bondi Lockdown, a lot of great memories from up here, like one of the great, I suppose, losing performances ever in a Chariots of Fire when he comes second in that 147 to Better Eclipse. But that earned him an invitation to the infamous Miracle Mile that was called off about 15 minutes before the race. But the horse was amazing up here at that period, wasn't he?
Yeah, it's probably the only thing I might have just think, that was a huge run. And, Luke's often said to me, he said that's probably one of the biggest runs he's seen in Australia, running that first quarter and still being there at the finish. But I do worry that I did say to Brittany Graham after the race, I hope I didn't kill him, and it may have just taken the edge off him. He seemed really good before the Miracle Mile the first time, but he was a bit flat the second week, and just probably didn't get him, and then he had a bleed when I got him back in the next time. So it's me only being a bit of a hobby trainer, never knew much about it. Luke actually messaged me and said he'd help me out, and I sort of made a decision in a couple of days and just thought, I'll send him in and hopefully get him to that top level.
Mate, we were talking about that. Those people at Club Menagle left you out of the Miracle Mile the next year, but you did have a pretty good Miracle Mile night as it was. You won the light horse free for all with him.
Yeah, that was a good thrill to win that, and at least I suppose I have had a winner up here, but not as a trainer, I suppose. So that was good, and just probably maybe whether he was still having a little bleed at times, we're not sure, but just ended up Luke going over to America. It was a good chance to take him over there and see what he could do over there.
How's he gone?
He had his first win this week.
Oh, fantastic.
Excellent.
That's really good.
Congratulations.
Really good. Yeah, thanks. That was good, but he'd been running a few placings and then got held up at Yonkers the other day. But it was snowing the other day, so they're not running real quick times, but he got the money.
You're saying you're a hobbyist, but you're an international winner now.
International
winning owner.
Yeah, I suppose you can call that. It'd be good to have good enough ones to send over there all the time. But it's something different anyway. It'd be good to actually get in a nicer race later on and find the time to go over and actually watch it. It'd be good.
You're talking about getting your first Club Menagle winner, hopefully as a trainer or driver. Well, that could be on Saturday night. You have 3 runners engaged, and the first of those comes up in race 1, and that's Little Louie. Last start, he finished 7th in the Pure Steel, but that race included the likes of Triple A, Rock and Roll Do, and Captain Hammerhead. How did he come through that run?
Yeah, he ran on good that time. He's just sort of probably found the last couple of times in, he's taken a bit to hit his straps. So, but yeah, he's working good, and that's sort of probably a winnable race for him on Saturday night if it all goes to plan.
We've seen you utilise his gate speed. He does have good gate speed, and you've come up with barrier 6 on Saturday night. Do you look to find a forward position?
Probably got to have a bit better look at the fields yet. I've sort of probably been busy getting up here and haven't really looked at that one hard, and probably don't know a lot of those horses. So, but yeah, look, I think I'll go forward and have a bit of a look.
Mate, race 5, you got Sweet Nicky Lou. From the Breeders' Crown last year where she performed so well, she took that next step and her form was outstanding. I know she raced last Saturday before against all the good mares. She found so much trouble. I think you lock wheels about 3 times in the last 400 metres, and she went across the line hard held. It's a nice field. It's a small field this week, but how do you expect her to go?
Yeah, hopefully she's on song. She's still the same. She's with hopefully all the travel, and she's handled it. She's first time away from home, but she ate up good last night, which I was impressed with because she's only a little fine thing, about 380 kilos. So not always been the greatest of eater, but she ate good last night, so that was good. So I'll be hoping for to be thereabouts anyway.
And in race 6, that is the feature event on Saturday night's card, the Hondo Grattan Stakes, which is our first qualifier for the Chariots of Fire. You've drawn the car park here with D Rowe, barrier 12, but of course he'll come out at barrier 10 with the removal of the emergencies. The draw probably makes it a bit of a tough assignment, but what do you make of his chances?
Yeah, that it probably makes it a real tough actually. But he just always in a better race draws outside of the front seams. So yeah, just go back and hope they go hard up front, and he'll be sprinting home at the finish. That's for sure.
Mate, you only got to come top 4 and you're in the Chariot, so don't have to win this week.
Right.
It's just top 4 and you'll be in the big race there on Chariots of Fire night.
Right, and is that the same the following week?
Same the following week, and the way it's done then is, so the horse won the Bonanza. Emma Stewart's 4-year-old won the Bonanza there.
Mickey to Success.
Last Saturday week. Top 4 this week, top 4 the following week, and then the 5th horse with the most prize money this season will get that last spot from these 2 races.
because I might put Sweet Nicky Lou in next week and see
Okay.
how she
that'd be
goes.
good.
There you
Plenty
go.
of options for her.
Another one to keep an eye out for in the Paleface Adios Stakes potentially next week. Aaron, have you bought any other horses up as well for the TAB Carnival of Miracles?
Yeah, I've got 40 Love and Rough Nut for the Derby. I've nominated 40 Love and for next Tuesday just for a hit out, which it's nice enough sort of field by the looks of the noms. And Rough Nut, I'll probably put him in Penrith on Thursday. And I brought little Jazzy Malee, who's little Louis' sister, who sent her up to Malcolm Retallick just to sort of get rid of a few numbers, and he sort of probably got her going a fraction better and brought her home to the homegrown. And then he had to do a bit of babysitting when his son had another child. And I said, I'll put her in a Bendigo, because I said, oh, well, I'll get her back. I'll just pay you half if she does all right and that. But she got a bad draw, and she went good, and then won at Bendigo, and then ran a nice second to one of Mick Stanley's, and then put her in last Saturday night in the Hunter Cup night, and she ran a great fourth from back in the field. So she's sort of taken the next step. So just got her in Tuesday in a mare's race. So hopefully she'll be able to, up to 60, she'll be able to do a job for me up here too.
Oh, mate, I look forward to seeing you here Tuesday. Sounds like you're pretty busy.
Yeah, no, I've got a few going, so that'll be good.
Aaron, it's been great to catch up with you today. Thank you so much for your time, and we're really looking forward to seeing your horses in action throughout this year's TAB Carnival of Miracles.
No, very good. It'll be great. Good to be here.
See you soon.
Thanks. Catch ya.
Wono, our second special guest of the show, he's joining us here in the studio today. It's one of our leading trainers here at Club Menagle, Jason Grimson. How are you today?
Yeah, really good. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on the show.
Grimo, Jess mentions one of the leading Menangle trainers. I'd say one of the leading traders in Australasia at the moment. New Zealand Cups, Hunter Cups, feature races, Nullarbors. It's been a pretty interesting last couple of years, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been really good. It's been quite busy, you know. I haven't had really too much downtime, but it's good to get away and travel and that, and you always get to see new things and new people and meet new people. So, yeah, it's been really good.
One of those horses that has taken you across to New Zealand, around all of New South Wales, Nelly, is Swayzee, and it's the eve of a pretty big race for him, because tomorrow night he'll be lining up in the Albury Murray Cup chasing the $500,000 Carnival of Cups bonus. How is he heading into tomorrow night?
Yeah, he's really good, actually. I went down, I had him at the Water Walker down in Melbourne last week, and I went down and picked him up, and he looks fantastic. They done a fantastic job with him. He's really shiny. And he's feeling good, and I had to trim a bit of weight off him, actually. He put on a bit of weight after the Hunter Cup, so yeah, he looks unbelievable, actually. He looks really good, so really happy with him.
No disrespect to the other races that's been through the Carnival of Cups. This one's a little bit more depth in this race, hard barrier. And Albury, I love Albury. We won a couple of Trotters Cups at my family, so had a lot of success, good crowds, good atmosphere down there. But yeah, it's not a foregone conclusion this week, is it? It's a little bit more depth, and from barrier 10, you'll have to work.
Yeah, that's right, but that's probably the way he likes it. He likes to do the work in the race, and from that draw, I think he'll be able to get out and around them before those back ones even get through the field. So I'm hoping he scores up and gets around them, around the outside of them, and gets in front of all those horses. And I think we'll probably press the button with him a bit and run them off their feet, make them tired. He won't race for a month after this, so yeah.
Well, you made him tired in the Hunter Cup, so I'm pretty sure an Albury Cup's not going to be much harder. Yeah, and then he's off to
Penrith,
yeah.
Penrith on the 15th of March. It's
Yeah.
a Saturday night. And then he's off to
The Nullarbor.
Nullarbor after that.
That's exciting.
Yeah, we can't get him here at Menangle.
No.
We've got to try and get him here at Menangle.
It'll cost
Get
you.
it?
Well, why not? Let's have a match race. Let's get him and Leap to Fame up for a match race one
The
day. Wouldn't that be
brothers.
good, the brothers in a match race? You know?
Over 3 miles.
Pure Steel and Satin Over, you know, War Admiral Seabiscuit. Wouldn't that be great to
Be
see?
incredible,
Actually,
wouldn't
that's,
it?
that's something we should work on, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
you
boys,
should hit your hip.
Hey,
Hit your
hey,
hip,
the
put
boys
some
could
money
put
up.
a bit up. It'd
Yeah.
be fantastic.
I might even drive him, mate.
Over the 2 mile, wouldn't that be good to see here?
Would be incredible. Can you think of the crowd that would come out to see the brothers?
That would absolutely bring a crowd, something like that. Yeah, I might get a bit excited about this. We should work on something like this later in the year.
Speaking of his little brother leap to fame, just touching on that Hunter Cup, what was it like watching him come up that straight? Because it was just an incredible battle.
Yeah, it was pretty special to watch, just to be there, and there was a massive crowd there watching it, and they were all cheering. Even after they went over the line, where I was standing, I couldn't tell if he won, and everyone was cheering me and that, and I still didn't know. I was waiting to try and hear the caller, but I couldn't hear him. But yeah, it was pretty special just to watch all those horses go up the straight like that. They're all good horses in their own right, but yeah, for us to come out on top was pretty special too.
Yeah, great race. One of the great races probably in the last decade that we've seen. And he's never beat, is he? Never, ever beat Swayzee.
Doesn't give up, just like in that New Zealand Cup. Must be
amazing.
Incredible the part he's taken you on, Jace.
Yeah, definitely. Just like where we've been, we've been all around New South Wales, and then we went to a Vic Cup in between, and then I had a spur moment and took him to New Zealand, and that was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah, I just go, that made Channel 7 Saturday race day coverage, and Bruce McAvaney brought it up as a special segment on the Channel 7 race day. It was, I think it was the Melbourne Cup Carnival.
Yeah, he rang me about it, yeah.
And he cut in and says, I'm going to show you this, because Bruce McAvaney does have a background with harness racing. And to get that, that's how special that is. Like, we find it really hard to get any press, and for someone like that, on an actual gallop day, Melbourne Cup Carnival, to bring up what he did, yeah, it was an amazing story. So he must be really proud with that.
Yeah, definitely. For what the horse went through and the way he come through it and the way he tried on the track was pretty special just to be a part of. And, yeah, it was awesome to watch.
He's known as Lenny around the stables. What type of horse is he to have in the barn? Because you can just tell when he comes back into those presentations just how much you and Cam love that horse.
Yeah, in the barn, he's actually very quiet. You don't even know he's there. He's just one of them horses. He's like an old gelding. He doesn't like the other horses too much. He's a bit bossy in the paddock, but just around the stables and that, he's so nice to be around and to work with.
Sounds like his trainer.
Yeah, definitely.
And Friday night, of course, heading back to Albury. You grew up in the Riverina down there at Young. Cam also did down there at Junee. You must love being able to head back to these Riverina Country Cups.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really get time to go back there too often now. And all my family and that will be there, so it's pretty special to get back there and see them and take my pride and joy down there and show the crowd.
The old man will get down there?
I don't know about him. He doesn't like a trip away. But
he's been here once or twice.
Yeah, that was a struggle to get him here, actually. I think it was only for an Inter Dominion he come down.
Yeah, he come down, and I tell you what, there was no better horseman than his old man. And when his old man said, I think I can win today, you took notice. He won a lot of races around the provincials and the bush, and he'd take a horse anywhere to win a race. And I remember he had a really good filly, before you were even thought of, Grimmo. You weren't even spoke. Golden Gosling, what a fantastic filly mare. She was a lot of feature races, a lot of big races at Harold Park. That's a bit scary for me because I can remember going around late 70s, early 80s. But I think it was the black with the gold sash with the colours the old man had. Yep. Great front-running driver as well. When it was, prize money wasn't great. They had to earn their money, and generally it was, getting a horse right for a race. So, he was a very, very good horseman and a good guy.
After Albury on Friday night, attention turns back here to Club Menagle, where you have a really strong team set to contest the races here. Race 2, we see your first runner go around, and that's Super American with Jack Callaghan to drive. He's had two wins from 2 starts this prep, where last start he actually took out the Golden Guitar final. What are you expecting from him heading back to Menangle?
He's a really nice horse, actually. He's got a few tricks. He can hang a bit and that, but we sort of looked after him to try and turn him into a nice horse in the end, and he's starting to get there towards that. He's got high gate speed and he's got high speed, so he'll be up thereabouts, and he's going really good actually at home, so I expect a big show from him.
Look, you got in the next race, you got I'm the Falcon in the free-for-all. It's a really strong free-for-all this week. A couple of those horses coming off the Hunter Cup, but he was pretty impressive here last week, 53 over the 23 on a bit of a sticky track. Be very hard to beat this week, and you're looking forward to the sprints with this horse maybe?
Yeah, definitely. He's a high-class horse. 2 starts ago, he was very disappointing, and we found a few problems with him. And we got them sorted and brought him here last week, and he was super impressive. He draws where he can get across and then sit on the right horse if he wants to. If nothing comes, he can lead.
So he's got a bit of versatility about it, the horse?
Yeah, definitely. I think the first 2 starts we gave him, he come off cover and got home in 25 both starts and won So he's got that versatility, which helps, and hopefully we can see how good he is. You know, it'll be a good measuring stick this week. There's a couple of really nice horses in it, so we'll know how good he is anyway.
Would you go to Newcastle or just wait for the sprints here?
Probably wait for the sprints here. I find that he gets around the track a lot better here. He just touches a little bit, and we noticed that in New Zealand, and he probably didn't go as good as what he probably should have. But yeah, he's a nice horse, and we'll keep him in Menangle racing and aiming at that Miracle Mile.
Race 4, you have Compete set to line up here. He's drawn out in the car park, barrier 10. What do you make of his chances from the draw?
It's a class drop for him. He's dropping back from the 95 to the 80, so we'll probably drive him pretty positive. He can be a mongrel. He can not score up sometimes. I don't know if that's the driver or the horse. I must say they've got bad hands, but if he scores up and does everything right, he should be hard to beat in that.
Mate, race 5, the racing manager doesn't like going with 7-horse races here a lot. But when these all nominated, it's pretty hard to go past and not run this race. These are the best mares in Australia at the moment. You've got 3 of them.
Yeah, I did say that to you during the week, didn't I? No, it's a really good race, and I'm glad it did stand up because you get to see 7 really nice mares, and they should all be around Ladyship Carnival,
a little bit later.
Time. Yeah.
There's a baby bling here on Miracle Mile night, and I'm only guessing this, but Artie's Express, she wouldn't have any problems lining up in a sprint either, would she?
Yeah, that's the aim with her. Her win last start was pretty sensational, and she's trained on from that. So as long as she goes good this week and does everything right, we'll aim her at them sprints because she's definitely good enough to be in it.
Race 6 is the feature event on the card. It's the Hondo Grattan Stakes, a qualifier for the Chariots of Fire. And you have the big boss drawn barrier 5 here. We saw him run down in the Bonanza with a really nice 4th. What do you think of his chances here?
He's a very nice horse. His run at Melton was awesome. He just didn't handle the track. And I've changed a few things since then with his gear, and I think he'll be a better horse. And the way he ran through the line, I know he didn't get around the bend too good, but the way he ran through the line at Melton, sitting parked in 50, was pretty nice to see. And we'll be very positive with him on Saturday. We'll try and get him up on the speed. He can run along quite strong sectional, so hopefully he can get out in front and run a good time and put his hand up.
Look, I know you're one that always looks to be winning, but you only have to finish top 4 and you're in the Chariots of Fire in this Hondo Grattan. But knowing you, Jason, and knowing Jack, top 4 is not good enough.
No, we want to win, mate. We always want to win when we go out there. That's our main aim. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. And look good doing it too.
I'm not going to say anything, Jess, about me. I'll just let that one go through
that
the
one
keeper.
Go through the keeper. Jace, who's your best on Saturday night's card?
Artie probably picks herself off her last run, and I'm pretty excited to see what Falcon does. I think he's a pretty nice horse, and he's maps to get a good run there.
You've got a good relationship with Bootsy as well, haven't you?
Yeah, me sugar daddy.
He'd love that too, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he'd love that.
Yeah, we might get him in a collared shirt and a tie one day. What do you reckon?
No chance, mate.
Not a chance in the world.
No chance.
Mate, I know you've got a pretty big stable up there at the moment. Like the numbers, I know you've got your perfect numbers, but you've got some big numbers up there at the moment. Is there something else up there that we should be looking forward to coming up with this carnival?
I did work Captain Ravishing this morning. He felt really sharp. He surprised me a bit. I gave him a couple of workouts before and he felt a bit dull, but this morning he really shocked me. So we're going to give him a private trial on Saturday here with Mickey Pins.
Who's another good horse.
We've got a big opinion of him too. So we'll give them 2 a hit out together, and then he might trial you next Wednesday and go into the sprints. But he really surprised me this morning. He showed what he used to have.
I don't think anyone's ever doubted his speed and his ability. He's just been a little bit erratic and a bit up and down with his form. But, first year of the Eureka, he finished amazing 3rd off the back of no racing before that, and they went a fantastic time. And I think they went a 51 in that over the 2400, and he was an amazing 3rd. As I said, we know the horse has got the ability. It might just need the Grimo touch.
Yeah, definitely. I had a bit to do with him leading up to that Eureka, and just a couple of days out from the Eureka, he started feeling really good, and that's what I felt this morning. So that's good to see, and hopefully we can get him back to near that form because he does have it there. It's just getting it out of him.
So he could be pretty busy around sprint night.
Yeah, definitely. I might have to drive on myself.
Sounds good.
What other horses do you have aimed towards the TAB Carnival of Miracles?
Mickey Pins, I know he's probably low graded, but the opinion we have of him, we think he's pretty special and he wouldn't be out of place in a Miracle Mile. I know he was disappointing last start at Shepparton, but he was found to have a lung infection and we've treated him for that and he's back on target. Another horse I worked this morning that felt really sharp. And what else do we have there? That's about it for the upcoming races.
Look, it's I'd like to be here Saturday morning because I'll be telling everyone to get off the track. If Grimo sends them, Saturday morning, everyone get out of the way, especially the water truck.
Jace, it's been great to catch up with you today. Thank you for joining us on the Menangle Angle.
He's a hard man to get.
He is.
And you got him, Jess.
We managed to track him down. Best of luck tomorrow night with Swayzee at Albury, and we can't wait to see the team in action
That'll
here
be
at Club
amazing
Menagle on Saturday.
Amazing experience for you and your family down there. Best of luck with that, mate.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, it was great to speak with Jason Justin. He has a fantastic team set to line up on Saturday night, and also I know myself and plenty of other harness racing fans are looking forward to seeing Swayzee shoot for that $500,000 Carnival of Cups bonus tomorrow night at Albury. I'm sure the track's going to be filled down there and it's going to be great to see Swayzee out there on track.
I'm pretty sure Grimo's looking forward to watching him go around for $500,000. I know if I was there, the nerves would be pumping pretty hard, but he's a character and I'm sure he'll handle it. Both horse and Grimo.
Well, let's get stuck into our race preview. We have 9 races coming up this Saturday night, with the first getting underway at 6:17 p.m, but there's also plenty of exciting things happening off the track because we have the Big Sports breakfast dinner on in the Chairman's Lounge.
Yeah, still a few tickets left for that. It's a great lineup of sporting personalities are going to be here. Gerald Middleton, of course, will host that event. Really select all fields, rugby league, AFL, soccer, A-League. So please, if you're a sporting buff, there's still a few tickets left. Rub shoulders with some of our elite sports people in Australia and, have a really enjoyable night. I'm sure it will be.
Racing tomorrow night is headlined by the Cordina Chicken Farms Hondo Graddon Stakes, and the first 4 from that event are guaranteed to start in this year's Chariots of Fire as well.
That's correct. First four also from the Poleface Adios. We've also got the winner, Mickey to Success, from the Bonanza down in Melbourne. And then the last position will come down between the 5th place getter from the Hondo and the Poleface, and that'll be on dollars they've earned this season. So it's pretty black and white on how they get into the race. But top 4 this week and next week, you're in the Chariots of Fire, only one step away from maybe being in the Miracle Mile.
Race 1 tomorrow night is the Coots Lawyers Pace to be run over the mile for the national rating up to 95 here, and it's a strong national rating 95 to open the card. I thought Cosimo, he's drawn barrier 9 here, but I thought he found the line nicely last Saturday night, winning for Seed and Grimer. Speculating's also another one to keep an eye out for. He's resuming from a spell here, drawn barrier 5, but he's a last start winner at this track. And then you've also got the likes of Geordie, Double Act, Outside Fighter, and they're all really consistent Metropolitan performers.
Well, I've got to say, Jess, I'm a team player, so I'm going to stay with the team. We've come up with one of the sectional stars. I'm going to go with Joe Neen.
There you go.
Look, really consistent field this. You could pick 5 or 6 quite easily, but Joe Neen's got Jack Callahan this week. As I said, if there's some speed on this race, he's the sort of horse that just might get home. It was a really strong 95 that he come 5th in last week, and he wasn't far away. So I'm going with you, Jess. I'm going with the sectional star.
We're going with our sectional star. Race 2 is the bestinbeds.com.au pace, and then again, it's set to be run over the mile here, and it's a bit of a consolation for those 4-year-olds that were balloted from the Hondo Graddon Stakes. And when you see the field that makes up this race, I don't envy the handicappers and the job that they would have had, because This is such a strong field for horses that were balloted from the Group 3 event.
Yeah, it was interesting. We did put that condition on that a race could be drawn from ballots. It hasn't worked before. This is the first year it's actually worked. But what a field it's brought together. I think there's about 6 last start winners. And every one of those could feel a little bit aggrieved about not being in the Hyundai Grattan. But the best thing is they get a chance to prove themselves this week. I wouldn't be surprised if we took maybe 2 horses. The first 2 horses out of this race would be, I'm not saying automatic, but be very hard to leave out of the pole face should they nominate. So really important these horses go good this week. I'm leaning a little bit towards maybe number 5, Dashing. He's now with Luke McCarthy. I know Bruce Hartley's done a fantastic job, but Luke just might bring that little bit of polish, that metropolitan polish that he needs. A good strong third last week. But it's a really hard field. Horses winning form's great form. And they've, interstaters are here as well. You've got Grant Dixon, you've got Jack Bartley, you've got Chantel Turpin. They're all nice horses, so I'm pretty sure they'd be pretty keen. But I'd be very surprised if the top 2 from this wouldn't get into the Palface Adios.
I'm with you there on Dashing as well. I know I identified him last start when he came up to Club Menagle as a horse that I was excited to see up here. And, well, I'm looking forward to seeing him line up in this event because I think he is definitely a Chariots of Fire contender. Race 3 is the TAB We're on Free For All here, and what a field that we get to see go around in this event over the mile. Well, we identified Kingmaker as a sectional star. He's drawn barrier 2, but when you see the name Purdon and Phelan in the field, you know that the Carnival of Miracles is right on our doorstep, and it's last year's Chariots of Fire and Miracle Mile runner-up, Sooner the Better. He's in this. He's drawn barrier 5, and I was lucky enough to head out to JJ Farm there, Paul and Lynn Fitzpatrick's property where the Purdon and Phelan team are staying, and he looks an absolute picture heading into this event.
I think what's really important too is Frank that form because he was really strong in Auckland during the Auckland Cup Carnival as well with those seconds and thirds. He's had a little bit of a let-up, but yeah, it's great to see him here early. Great to see the Kiwis back in force. Really hard race, but you've got to take on Max Delight, like super run in the Hunter Cup. Captain's Knock was huge and I'm a Captain's Knock fan, so I'm Captain's Knock each way. Just because he's coming off that really hard run, he'll be super fit for this, and I'm sure they're looking at a Miracle Mile berth as well.
You just mentioned my best bet there coming up later on in the show and how strong his run was there in the Hunter Cup, but we'll chat about that one a bit later on.
Give it away again, didn't I? We've got to rehearse.
Race 4 is the Big Sports Breakfast, another event to be run over the mile, and it's the Division 1 of the national rating up to 80. And we see Quaddy VC, he's come up with barrier 2 here. He's undefeated since joining the Adam Regari stable, 3 from 3, and this will be his first step up to Menangle grade. And then you look to the outside as well. Destiny Stride was a last start winner here last Saturday night, in fact, for Blake Fitzpatrick. And Wono, there's another one that I know you're pretty keen on the place here.
Yeah, look, I've got something for Sweetheart Bart. That Tamworth, it's still not out of that pocket it was in at Tamworth. In the Golden Guitar final, and it was a strong 4th. I think he sat parked here last week, and it was a strong 80, as this week's is. Once again, you could tip 4 or 5 here and still miss it. So, but I like Sweetheart Bart's got a good barrier 3 there. Robbie's taken the drive, so I think he'll give you a good show.
Race 5 is the Ultra Air Ladyship Pace here. We get to see the mares take centre stage, and only a small field of 7 to go around, but there is quality nonetheless. And I think on her last start Ladyship Cup down there at Melton, Artie's Express, despite drawing the widest gate there in 7, I think she is the leading fancy.
Look, I'm a bit biased, but at the moment the 2 best mares in Australia are trained in New South Wales. I keep smiling at Artie's Express, and they showed that down in Melton, that Ladyship Cup. They went 150 down at Melton. If we've got some good weather here, I'm sure the 150 will be tested. Maybe even the 149 and the 148 is not outside these horses' ability, especially when you've got a lot of speed inside them, like Oliver Bubbles and Tay-Tay. Pandea's going fantastic. And we spoke to Aaron Dunn. We'll speak to him with the sweet Nikki Lou. She's fantastic form as well at the moment. This is a really, really strong mares race, but Artie's Express.
Race 6 is the feature event of Saturday night's card. It is the Cordina Chicken Farms Hondo Grattan Stakes, a Group 3 event over the mile. And like we mentioned earlier on in the show, it is the top 4 from this race that will progress through to the Chariots of Fire on Saturday, 1 March. And we get to see such an exciting field of 4-year-olds set to go around. Emma Stewart, she has 3 horses in this race. We see last year's TAB Eureka runner-up, Bay of Biscay. He's come up with pole position, Barrier 1. Emma's also got War, Dan Buddy and Kingman engaged. And the Kiwi representatives in Better Knuckle Up for Barry Purdon and Scott Phelan. And then We Walk by Faith for Hayden and Amanda Cullen. And of course, we got to see We Walk by Faith in action here last Carnival of Miracles when he ran 6 in the New South Wales Derby final.
Yeah, look, I think I'm going to put splinters in my backside and sit on the fence. I'm just going to watch these horses just absolutely. Yeah, I've looked at it 4 or 5 times and I can see it being run 4 or 5 different ways. Yeah, really, really hard. These horses are top quality 4-year-olds. I'm really looking forward to this race. Look, if you're going to push me, you've got to look at maybe We Walk by Faith. He's won his last couple in New Zealand. Blake's taking the drive. Better Knuckle Up won the slot race, I think.
The Velocity back on show day at Addington in November.
Which was an outstanding field. And Emma Stewart, yeah, they don't usually miss when they come up. Jason Grimson's got the big boss. He was fantastic last start. Yeah, like there's so many chances. Splinters for me. I'm going to sit back and watch them just go hell for leather.
Race 7 is the Happy Birthday Mary Wilkins Pace. It's our first race of the night that's over the longer trip, the 2,300 metres, and we've seen one scratching in American Spirit come out of this event. But here I've had to look to our outside runner in Debonair. I've put him on top, but Wono, how did you assess this field?
Yeah, really even field. Happy birthday, Mrs. Wilkins. She does a lot of laps around here. You see her walking every day. She's very fit. I'm not going to give away her age, but yeah, happy birthday, Mrs. Wilkins. Always great to see you walking around here. Look, I suppose you've got to look at, pretty hard to beat Emma Stewart. I know there was a bit of money around for Uniquely Ideal. I'm not going to say she was disappointing, but 4th last week. But yeah, it's really hard, this Metro Maiden this week. Major Statement's going good for Troy Williams, but probably come back to Emma Stewart, Cameron Hart and Uniquely Ideal.
The penultimate event is race 8, set to get underway at 10:13 p.m. It's the Menangle Park Trotters discretionary handicap over the 2,300 metres, and we get to see last year's Inter Dominion winner, the Locomotive, and he was the runner-up in the Great Southern Star final last start out for Brad Hewitt. He's back here at Club Menagle. He's off 40 metres from the stand. Excited to see him line up here. And also Royal Dan, he's off the 20 metres along with She's Ruby Roo. So a great field of Square Gators set to contest this event.
Yeah, in today's day and age, 40 metres seems like it's a bit of a handicap, but growing up around the trotters, going back to the Harold Park days, that was a good mark to some of the really good trotters we had going back then. They'd be off 60 and 70 every Friday night. So look, I still think he's good enough to win off 40. Like, he went 151 in the heat down there. He got run down on the line. I'm really looking forward to the Hammerhead here in a few weeks because they're all coming. Oscar Bonavina, What's Up Party Time, I know, is coming up this way. Kiyang Chubb, like, it's going to be an outstanding field, that Hammerhead. But Locomotive, I think it's a good choice, this 2,300, just to give him a knockout before those races. I think Brad's away next week with that Drivers' Challenge in Albion Park, so maybe that's why they're not here next week. So Locomotive, he's still good enough to win off 40.
Race 9 is Division 2 of the national rating up to 80. It's the Ainsworth A-Star Pace, and we're back to the mile trip here. And one stood out to me. It was number 8, Lose Dream for Seaton Grimer. It trialled Wednesday week ago here at Club Menagle, and it trialled on that occasion behind 2 very nice free-for-all performers in South Coast Arden and JOK. He was only beaten 3 metres in a mile of 152.5, and I think lining up in this field, he could be a definite danger. Yeah,
look, and you hit nail on the head there with Lose Dream and Seaton Grimer. He's in form, so really hard to beat. I wouldn't... Maybe something a little each way supersede. Come here with a bit of a rap. 2 starts ago was a good second. I don't know, maybe last week, just with the wet and stuff like that, it had 8th. But it's got Cameron Hart on board this week. So, yeah, supersede maybe each way.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Well, we've come to the best bets segment of the show, and TAB have kindly provided us with a very nice offer for this Saturday night. We have a Valentine's Day special, even though it's the day before. We'll be hoping that We can hopefully find some lovely winners on the card. You head into your TAB app and visit the sports section and then scroll down to today's offers and then keep going until you find the Harness Racing New South Wales offer. You'll find race 2, number 5, Dashing, a place, with race 4, number 3, Sweetheart Bart, a place. And there's currently $6 on offer about those two runners both running a place.
I think that's really good value. $6. Only got to run a place, top 3, both of them. And they're definitely winning chances, let alone top 3 chances. And yeah, what a nice thing for the Valentine's Day offer. And you've got Sweetheart Bart. And we're all dashing, aren't we, us gentlemen, when we buy our partners flowers. So, although I suppose if you're lucky enough that you're dating me, you'd be Valentine's Day every day. Giving myself a bit of a rap there, Jess.
No one else will pump up your tyres. You
none,
may as well
zero.
pump them up yourself. It's your best bet on the car.
Well, seeing that I've set the scene, I've got to keep following. Sweetheart Bart is my best bet each way. I like the horse. He's got a good style about him. Robbie Morris, come on, Robbie, drive him good this week. You've had two of you not your best on him. I'm sure he's due, and he'll get the money this week, I reckon. Sweetheart Bart.
Well, we touched on my best bet earlier in the show, but I'm with race 3, number 7, Max Delight. I thought the way he found the line in the Hunter Cup was absolutely incredible, and I think if they run a bit of time up front early, he could definitely be running into this. So hoping that Akey and Will Rickson can get the job done with Max Delight on Saturday night.
And Will has on this horse before too. So
correct.
Yeah, he has got a good combination going there with Max.
Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. Wono, our TAB Carnival of Miracles is only a few weeks away, and although the racing on the track feels like the carnival has already arrived, on Saturday, 1 March, we have the Cordina Chicken Farms Chariot Safari, and we're going to be celebrating the 30th anniversary since the first running of the chariots with a 90s party in the Lawn Marquee, which I'm sure is going to be plenty of fun for anyone that purchases a ticket.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really fun night. 90s, yeah, it resonates with me. And what's really scary, that's 30 years ago, and I can still remember Ginger Man winning Barry Purdon and Tony Hurley. So, geez, time goes fast. You've got to enjoy every day, Jess.
And Saturday, 8 March as well, we've got the Garrard's Miracle Mile with Thirsty Merc performing a couple of sets trackside as well. So it'll be great to hear them perform some of their hits. And I know that the hospitality packages in both the Miracle Mile restaurant and also the Marquee are selling out very quickly. So you want to elevate your race night experience, make sure you head to the Club Menagle website and get those tickets sooner rather than later, because I can't guarantee that they'll still be there in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, and I'm not allowed to dance the Thirsty Merc. Bruce has already told me I've got to work hard. I can't get the dancing shoes on, but yeah, plenty of good tunes. Summertime.
In the summertime. Wono, it's been great to catch up with you again today. An action-packed show, of course. We got to speak with two of our fantastic participants in Aaron Dunn and Jason Grimson. Great to hear from them both about a number of their runners, and looking forward to seeing them back in action here at Club Menagle on Saturday night.
Yeah, he's got a big 48 hours coming up, hasn't he, Grimo? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, be really interesting to see. I'm just really excited with the carnival. All the Kiwis, Interstaters are back. It's fantastic. It's the feel of old. We've been missing it the last few years, whether that's through COVID and other stuff. But yeah, it's good to see them all back.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Menangle Angle. We hope you managed to find plenty of winners on our card here on Saturday night, and we'll catch you again next Thursday, where we'll catch up with a few more participants leading into the Paleface Adios Stakes and also leading into the TAB Carnival of Miracles. We'll see you next Thursday. Gamble responsibly. Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call 1-800-858-858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.